I'd like to introduce the four musicians that make up the DMJ unit. On drums, we have Dwight James. On keyboards, we have Tony Franco. On vibes, we have Jamal. And on bass, we have Bill Zinno. These four gentlemen are all originally from Philadelphia. They are all very talented musicians and composers in their own right. Collectively, they have played with a list of musicians that reads the following: Billy Joe Jones, Sonny Murray, Byard Lancaster, Archie Shepp, Norman Connors, Edgar Bateman, and Joe Federico. I have some questions I'd like to ask these four gentlemen about their music and their feelings on music. Dwight, could you tell me what are your basic career goals as far as music is concerned?
Well, the only thing, well, basically, I want to be recognized. That's my goal in music. To be, to recognize the music, to recognize the musicians. Basically what he's doing himself. But I think that's the main goal of many musicians to be recognized.
Have you ever made any recordings?
Yes, I made a couple of recordings. I made a couple here with Jamal himself. I made a couple quite some time ago on the more the sensei commercial level. One group called Candy and the Kisses, and another group, spiritual group, Joy. Just about all the recordings that I've done. As far as playing, I had an opportunity to work with visitors for a couple of years, Brian Lancaster and Sound Liberation. On one opportunity, I had a chance to play with Charles Lord. But all of that, was all as part of the, part of the experience of playing and, getting out there and getting into the music. But like I said before, what I want to really, out of music is to be recognized.
Right. Tony, could you tell me if in a formal education is important for a musician?
I think in a formal education setting where you have strictly a music school, uh, we have many in the city here and many other cities also. Speaking now in a classical sense, because most of the schools are classically oriented, uh, there's too much emphasis put on, the theory behind everything and all this overanalyzation, always trying to look at this under a microscope and instead of just letting the musicians play. Obviously, there's certain basics that have to be gotten down, especially for harmony instruments, piano, violin, bass, whatever, scales and chords and the like, and for drummers, the rudiments. Beyond that, there's not enough emphasis put on just going out, using your own ears, going into clubs and trying to assimilate the things that other players do, and then incorporate it into your own style, and then take it from there. Uh, Getting specific, a lot of the jazz schools in the country try to extend the idea of this free movement in playing, but they only do it in a big band setting. There's not that many big bands in this country, so it's kind of a false impression when the guys get out of school or the girls, whatever the case. Uh, their ears are attuned to this big band kind of a sound instead of a small group. There's more opportunity to work it in a small group setting, so there should be more emphasis put on working within maybe a 4 or 5 man kind of situation instead of 15 or 16 pieces where you don't get that much of a chance to solo.
Let's see. Thank you. Han, can you tell me what do you feel is happening in the music world today?
Um, Today it's music and industry parts of it. It's very black music. It's making quite a bit of money, things like that. Um, and like today, if a musician wants to really make it, I think he has to kind of like could have himself not only like a good education, like Tony was talking about, but he has to really know a little bit about business. Because like when you say, when I like we go to New York, take a musician goes to New York. Um, the opportunities are there, record companies, things like that, where like you can get the recognition, like what Dwight was talking about, and you have to kind of like put in your dues and be on that scene. But if you have a thorough head and you're a good musician, I'm pretty sure you could make it. And this is what's happening. I see opportunities opening up every day. So it's not like really a dead scene that's happening. It's alive and threshing. It's just those that do the most work.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, how does the tune express the overall composition being played?
Basically, every tune has a certain setting based on the key it's played in, the rhythms that are used in the tune, the tempo, and the main idea is to fully express by means of improvisation. It's a musical language. You can't really put verbal terms to it. But four guys get together, and by feeling each other out musically, they all kind of head somewhere in a direction. They change the shape of the piece. They, by use of dynamics, they can accent a certain section. They can make it seem more mellow by playing softer. Depending on what the piece has to say, what you can say musically is something that you can't express verbally, but it comes across.
I think that I should state that all of the tunes that have been played here today have been written by the group. I don't know if that was brought out before.
They're all
You
original
were-
compositions.
they're all original compositions, and you are all composers in your own way.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm going home
Okay.
now. All right.
Come on.
Right. Yeah, right.
All right.
Keep me alive.
Yeah, all right.
Y'all go
happened?
home now.
Yes. Okay.